So last week I took $150 and turned it into $600 in sales for my Shopify dropshipping store. Here's how. What's going on, beautiful people? It's your boy Yash. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you do want to get your good deed of the day out and done with, make sure you guys drop a huge like on this video. And if you do like what you hear and see by the end of this video, make sure you guys also subscribe with that post notification bell turned on so you guys are updated with all recent videos. So we all know it isn't the most easiest thing to profit from a Shopify dropshipping business. If you're a beginner or just starting out, I definitely recommend sitting through the entire video because I exactly show you how I 4x my return for my Shopify dropshipping store. No, this was not through Facebook ads, Google ads, TikTok ads, or even Snapchat ads. The method I'm about to show you guys is through Instagram influencers. In fact, when I first started dropshipping 3.5 years ago, I started to drive traffic to my dropshipping stores through the utilization of Instagram influencers until I actually built up capital and transitioned into Facebook ads, which is now my bread and butter, obviously, because that is when the scalability and the consistency comes into play. Regardless, if you're especially working on a lower budget or perhaps do not have the skills to put into paid advertising platforms, this is very effective. And therefore, ladies and gentlemen, not only am I going to show you the actual product, but also how I went about setting up the product in terms of price and offer, how I found the exact influencer, how I structured the promotion and shout out, and how you can too for your Shopify dropshipping business. Without any further ado, let's hop behind the screen. Before we do move forward into the mini case study, a lot of you guys have been asking me if there's some sort of community to be a part of where you can stay connected with myself. And there absolutely is. Guys, if you already have not joined my free Facebook group, Ecom Masterminds, go ahead and click the link down in the description below and join it. Whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced player in the dropshipping game, you're more than welcomed. So once again, join the Mastermind family and I'll see you guys there. Let's jump straight into the product because a lot of you guys are probably wondering what it was. So the product was, as you can see on the left, the infamous hoodie blanket. Now, if you've been in this space for a decent amount of time, you've probably already seen this product before. In fact, it did very well through Facebook ads in 2017, 18, and 19, and that is exactly how I found it and also know of the product. Since I've been in the space for a while now, I know that every single Q4, when the winter months are just about to come, this product starts selling and it does really well. The only thing is that I knew for a fact that with Facebook, there is more competition and saturation with this product, therefore, the scalability would be very limited. The whole purpose of this video, again, is to avoid Facebook ads and actually go towards Instagram influencer marketing, again, especially if you have a lower budget or also want to test products that have a little bit more market awareness already on Facebook, but not so much through influencers. Therefore, with a product like this, I knew it could absolutely work with influencers. Now, there's quite a few reasons as to why I decided to go ahead and sell this product. First and foremost, it is a winter and seasonal product, which means it does very well during the winter times, perhaps from October to February. And more so in October and November, a lot of people are doing a majority of their winter and seasonal shopping. It also makes a great gift. Not only can people buy something like this for themselves, but also people can give something like this to a daughter, a grandma, a aunt, a mom, so on and so forth. The product is also mass approachable and scalable. It doesn't really have any limitations or any biases attached to it. You could be literally living anywhere, be any age, be interested into anything, and make use of a product like this, which makes it a product that is appealed to a mass majority of the consumer market. Furthermore, the hoodie blanket is a type of apparel, which means you can wear on a day-to-day or weekly basis and really make worth of the money. It is no doubt an impulse buy and has a unique factor. It is a blanket that you literally wear that has a hoodie and even has pockets right here. And last but not least, it is a woman-dominated product. Women by nature are aggressive buyers when it comes to online shopping, so that just added a few sprinkles to the top and made it a better sell. So this is what my numbers look like and my approach to the product. You'll later see how I structured the product page as well. The cost price was $20 per unit by my private agent, which was absolutely amazing. I decided to sell it at $49.95 or about $50, which is perfect because I like to sell products that I can mark up at least 2.5x its original cost price. I also had it at 50% off just to have it look like a nice deal since it was also the holidays. And as you can see, I also had 4 different colors or variants: jet black, charcoal gray, wine red, and royal blue. Instead of just having black, gray, red, and blue, I added like an adjective or a noun before the actual color just to amplify and get people to buy it more. And trust me, these small marketing tactics, just like naming the variants and adding a little bit more spice to it, do really go a long way. This is the majority of my product page. As you can see in this snippet, I named it Blanket Hoodie, kept it nice and simple. 112 reviews to add that trust. $49.95 was the selling price, like I mentioned. You have your 4 color variants. The quantity selector is enabled. Buy it now is the call to action button. I'm also using an app called Horify for a countdown timer to get some urgency and scarcity in. You can see it says stock likely to run out in the hours, minutes, seconds. It also says ships from the US, which my private agent was sending out these orders from the United States. I did have 7 to 10 day shipping. On the bottom, you can see I have this little table created through an app called Volume and Discounted Pricing. It is one of my favorite apps to utilize for volume and tier discounts. This is essentially to increase my AOV, your average order value. You want to make sure as an e-commerce dropshipper, you're squeezing as much out of your customer as much as possible. I was able to customize it. As you can see on the top, it says buy more, save more, which basically incentivizes people like, hey, if I'm going to buy more than 1 unit, well, I'm going to save money. Where it says buy 2, get 10% off of each unit. Buy 3, get 15% off of each unit. And something else I have to push people over the edge a little bit to buy more than 1 is where it says 90% buy more than 1. I think people always want to fit in when they're buying something. Marketing is all about human psychology and how people think and react. So again, this just incentivizes people to buy more than 1. And in fact, a lot of people did buy more than 1 of the blanket hoodie. So now that all that is out the way, what exactly am I looking for the influencer theme page that I want to work with to promote the blanket hoodie? Well, one thing you really want to ensure when you're promoting your product or products through an influencer or a theme page, like in this case, is you really want to know your buyer persona. In other words, who your ideal customer is. It's very vital that your influencer page has a relevant audience to your product and vice versa. Therefore, I decided I wanted to partner up with an influencer page that had between 200,000 and 350,000 followers. Obviously, depending on your end goal and your budget, you can go higher or lower than the smaller account. The engagement rate is basically the overall engagement of the Instagram page, meaning what is the ratio based on their followers, likes, comments, shares, and views. One way you can easily check a page's engagement rate is through a website called Flanks. Flanks will essentially let you check the engagement rate of each and every page to really make sure it is at least over that 3% mark. I primarily wanted the majority of my audience to be from the United States just because how logistics were looking for me, and it was most relevant to the holiday season and also Black Friday, Cyber Monday. What I also had to keep in mind is that the page I'm going to be partnering up with had to have an audience of at least 80% female or women that were between the ages of 25 and 45, as I thought this product would be most appealing to them. One other pro tip I do want to share with y'all before you commit to a potential influencer page and partner up is to monitor their profile and their feed for a few days or at least a week. And you mainly want to do this because you want to see how they're engaging with their audience, what type of content they're posting in terms of feed posts, story posts, how often are they adding to their highlights. You also want to see what kind of comments they're getting, what kind of promotions they're doing, are they doing other shoutouts, how oftenly are they doing shoutouts. You don't want to partner up with the theme page that's doing multiple shoutouts every single day because that will actually exhaust their audience and will mean that their audience is already exhausted. In fact, you want to make sure there's a balance on their overall profile and they're doing things the right way. So after looking around a few dozen influencer pages, DMing them, and also emailing them to maximize my chances of a response, I finally found a page and decided to move forward with it. This is how I started out. I said, hey there, how's it going? By the way, I have an exact influencer outreach script I utilize to maximize my return of an influencer or an influencer theme page getting back to you. If you want to click on that link right there, it should take you to that video and I'll break down that script with you guys and how I exactly utilize it. Honestly, with this one, I think I just got too lazy to utilize that script, but it ended up working anyway, so oh well. Moving on, I said I wanted to kindly request a following your overall audience analytics, story reach, and feed reach. By the way, they are all almost obligated to give you these pieces of data, so do not hesitate asking for it. I actually recommend to always ask for these different audience analytics and insights so you can really see if their audience matches your potential product that you want to promote. Don't just blindly go into it because then you're risking losing more money or even all of your money. Furthermore, please feel free to send the packages you're willing to offer as well. Pages have different packages. We're quite flexible and want us to both gain something good out of this. Boom. Short, simple, sweet, and to the point. Afterwards, the owner did provide me with the account reach for the past 7 days. Friday, Saturday, Sunday seems like their best days. Impressions, profile visits, and website taps were all on an upwards percentage trend. Next, you can see for the past 14-day time frame per story, the account was getting about 14 to 16,000 views, which is pretty decent for the size of the account. Oh, by the way, the account did have 312,000 followers, which was right within my range of 200,000 to 350,000 followers. This is the audience and demographics for the past 7 days, US and Canada for the most part, which is amazing, just what we were looking for. 25 to 45 for age range, which is also what we were exactly looking for. And last but not least, 94% of this specific page's audience were women, which is perfect. And about 6.2% were men, which is not a bad thing because maybe a guy or a male can see this and perhaps buy this for their girlfriend, spouse, grandmother, whatever it really may be. So that's just a plus. This specific page also has a Facebook page that is actually verified with that blue check mark. So that was actually getting 22 to 35,000 story views per day on the Facebook page. As you can see, that last photo that I just shared with you guys was from the Facebook stories. She said, it's $100 for a 24-hour feed post plus story. I can do a 12-hour for $70. I also have a verified Facebook page, like I mentioned, with over 1 million followers. I can push the story over to Facebook stories for an additional $50. Let me know if you're interested. So overall, $150, not too bad. I told her I wanted to do a 24-hour story post with swipe up and feed post, and also a 24-hour Facebook story post. And of course, I asked her if we can schedule on the 27th, which is actually on Black Friday. And she did end up saying that she has a promotion on that day, which I do respect, because if I was an influencer page, I would not have multiple on a certain day because the audience will end up getting exhausted. So we agreed to Saturday the 28th, and she said she would post 10:30 a.m. Pacific time, which is also 1:30 p.m. my time since I am in New York City. The other great thing that just assured me on top of that was I asked her, do you have other promos that day or will you? She said, no, I only do one a day. And I said, awesome, that works great. This is the ad or creative I provided the influencer to use on Instagram stories and Facebook stories. I made it with Canva. Super simple, nothing fancy. I learned that simple does better most of the time. You can see I do have a nice, big, centered, transparent picture of the woman wearing the blanket hoodie. Says blanket hoodie here on top. Nice text. Has an arrow pointing to it to grab attention. Swipe up, 50% off. So I already had made the creative for the influencer page. All I said was here it is, you post it, and done. And here's just a few clips of the video I wanted the influencer page to use. So for the stories on Instagram and Facebook, I thought it'd be best to have a picture like I showed you before. And for the feed, I decided a video would be best. For all video creative needs and thumbnails for Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, so on and so forth, I utilize a company called Ecom Creations. They're absolutely great at what they do. They have an amazing turnaround time. So go to ecomcreations.co and you can also use my code YASH10 on every single order to get 10% off. Now, how awesome is that, ladies and gentlemen?
Wow, that's awesome.
And these, ladies and gentlemen, were the results of the product after the influencer post did finish. As you can see, on the 28th, the day the post actually went live, we were able to attain $449.55 in sales. And going on to the 29th, we were able to attain $149.85 in sales. I do think if the promotion was able to go live the day before, on November 27th, the day of Black Friday, we probably would have done that first day about $600 to $800 in sales. Nonetheless, I understand the influencer owner already had a promotion running that day, so Saturday was still pretty good as it was still a part of Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend. Also, just by looking at some of the surface data of these orders, it looked like most people ordered the dark blue version of the blanket hoodie, which was surprising because I thought the wine red version would sell the most.
Okay.
Oh, and just real quick, it does say $696.15 and $298.46 on both of the dashboards, which is different from the total sales of the hoodie blanket because I was also simultaneously testing a product on this same store through Facebook ads. So just to avoid confusions, the total sales I have on each side on the bottom are the actual representation of how much revenue the hoodie blanket alone brought that day. So what was the actual breakdown? The influencer cost me $150. I did pay the influencer upfront. That is how all influencers work 99% of the time. And just to break it down for you again, that was for a 24-hour Instagram feed post, a 24-hour Instagram story post with swipe up, and also a 24-hour Facebook story post on her page with swipe up. The total cost of goods sold were $240 as there were 12 units in total. Transaction fees through Shopify payments and PayPal included a total of $11.94, which means our total expenses came down to be $401.94. Our revenue was $599.40 through the 28th and 29th, which left us with a profit of $197.46, or if you round that up to about $200. I personally think $200 is not too bad. I do think, like I mentioned before, if the promotion was an actual Black Friday day, we could have been looking at about $250 to $280 in profit. Regardless, not too shabby. But the main point is to see, like, you can literally make $200 just by utilizing theme pages, and this was only one theme page. Imagine if I had actually stacked 2, 3, 4, 5, or even 6 theme pages during that day or scattered throughout Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend. I could have easily, depending on the size of the influencer pages, of course, made about $1,000 to $1,500 in profit or even more. And this is exactly why I wanted to do this, especially a little bit lower at scale, and maybe not go with the influencer or influencer page that had millions of followers, because that would have obviously costed a little bit more. But almost anyone, even with a lower budget, can implement and execute on something like this and rinse and repeat it. And there you guys have it. Instagram influencers, let alone Instagram influencer pages or theme pages, can be very profitable if you structure it and go about it the right way. There's hundreds and hundreds of profitable theme pages out there. At the end of the day, it is a numbers game, so make sure you're reaching out to these influencer pages on a daily and weekly basis. Make sure you ask for their analytics, their audience insights, to really ensure their audience is the proper fit for your store / your product, and of course vice versa. As always, if you do have any questions, thoughts, or concerns, feel free to drop them in the comments below, because I do reply to each and every single one of them. Keep working hard, keep grinding, more importantly, keep being awesome, and until the next one, your boy's out. Peace.